Awesome. So we have a special guest today. I'm super excited about bringing her on and just kind of giving you a little bit of insight before she starts the call today. I've been waiting for this moment. She is the OG of the OGs. I'm sure she can show you pictures of back when she started. Sean had hair. Sean Mike, we're talking about. All right. And she's a powerhouse. I'm so glad to not just call her my friend, my business partner, my accountability partner. I mean, everything up under the sun. We've gotten so close. But the reason why we're so close, I like to stay close to the fire. Why? She's a single mom like me, right? But there's more. Over her career, she has done over 25 million as a single mom. I don't think y'all are hearing this. Write this down. Because I don't know many single moms like myself or like her that are crushing it, but she's crushing it, right? Over 25 million in her career of issue paid business, 2-time Hall of Famer, and she got a gold ring. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know about that, but when you become Hall of Fame, you get that ring, right? She has 2 businesses. One of them is a sober living business. So she's operating other businesses outside of this. Her best month in life insurance is over 82,000 on her own pen. So she's walking and she's talking it, okay? In 2025, she made a decision to go on a 6-month run, okay? And she walked across stage with the blue jacket. The blue jacket means Hall of Fame annuity. She did 2.4 million in 6 months, right in time on December to walk across stage to hit Hall of Fame. Please help me welcome powerhouse, OG, the best trainer, and she's building a huge business, and she's taking over the health side of this business on top of running a life insurance business. I don't know too many people who do both. The one and only powerhouse queen, Leslie freaking Scofield. Clap it up. Throw some fire signs for my girl, Leslie. Okay, I got to make sure you can unmute, so hold tight. There you go. What's up?
Oh, my goodness. KG.
Yes.
Remember that time when we met? Was it in New Jersey or Baltimore?
New Jersey.
I don't know. I was just like, I need to know you.
We vibed right away. I mean, I literally walked up.
And still didn't get together. Still didn't get together for like a few years after that.
It was meant to happen. But Leslie, I know this was last minute. I know you're doing you got your son. He's in practice. You're doing your thing. I don't want to take any time away from you.
I can see him. He's right over there doing Muay Thai, and I'm sitting in my brand new Cadillac. Girl, ain't no complaints.
No excuses, guys. No excuses. He's in practice, and you're running a call. So, with that being said, if you could start the call, give us a short story about your story, how you got started up until now, and then we'll do some Q&A, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Wow, I haven't been on this call yet. This is great since being back. I can't believe it. It's wonderful. So glad to be on. Okay, so I started out at the furniture store, the biggest furniture store in Virginia Beach called Ashley Furniture. And I was working every holiday, every night, every weekend. And I was number 1 for like 4 years straight. And I made like $89,000. And we had hired this guy, and he was in on Memorial Day. And he was sitting on one of the couches, and I was like, Keith, what are you doing? Like, you got to get up. People are walking in here. I cannot take any more customers. I cannot sell one more mattress. Like, I'm tapped out. I can't take another client. What are you doing to be able to sit around like this on the holiday, on the weekend? He was like, oh, I do life insurance part-time. I'm like, how much? He's like, I don't know. I make like $5,000 part-time. I just do this for the benefits. So I was like, well, sign me up for that. Because if you are doing that part-time, I'm looking at you. I know you. You can't outwork me. I will run circles around you. What do I have to do? I had no idea that it required a license. I was very impatient at the time. Worse than I am now for y'all that know me. It was so bad. I quit. I met with the dude at the practice company one time, got into class, failed it. Took it the next day, passed it. And then I just wrote that one company, and I made, I was at a 70% commission, and I made door knocking. He gave me a stack of leads. I had a Garmin or a TomTom, one of the two. And you could only put like 10 addresses in at a time. I don't know if y'all remember this. I'm dating myself right now. I know y'all don't believe me. I'm only 21, but back then you could only put 10 zip codes in at a time. And it put it in order. So I would ride around to these houses and knock on the door, and the lead had a phone number on it. And it didn't even occur to me like to call the people. I just went over there, and I was selling furniture. I was selling funeral plans, and I was at a 70, and I made $15,747 in month one. I made $17,000 something in month two. In month three, I quit. And I became a broker and got more carriers. I picked up all the carriers that we have now. So let me see. So that was in June. So July, August, I'm running business. September, I quit. By November, I'm contracted and buying leads, telemarketing final expense leads at the time from an old company that don't even exist anymore. And I just started calling these leads with a script and getting them to let me come and see them at their house. And they were old leads from my upline at the time that she had worked. And she just gave me like, I guess, a stack of like 20 old leads that she hadn't been able to get in touch with. So I called through them and I door knocked them, and I made like 11,000. That was like November. And that was when I drove down with a van down to Atlanta. No, I flew to Atlanta with Frank and met Frank. And this was in 2016. And in November of 2016, it was like the first convention, or maybe like the third convention at the time, 2016. Nobody was there. It was not as many agents that we have here. But I saw the people on stage making money, and I was like, well, what are they doing? So I came home fired up. I started buying mortgage protection and doing in-home mortgage sales. I wrote my first annuity within 30 days of 2017. And then I found out I was pregnant. And so what did I do? I bought a $56,000 truck for no damn reason, but it had a snowmobile, snow setting on it. Right. And I knew I was going to be big pregnant in the snow. So that's what I did. I was door knocking in the snow with big ass snow, like big snow and a big belly, like out to here, big belly. And people were like, oh my goodness, you need to come inside. I'm like, yes, I do, ma'am. I sure do. Yep. Is this your mortgage? When did you refinance this house? You're sure you're safe to be out here? You want something to eat? Yes. Yes. The belly, the snow, I was in it. I was out in it. And I just worked like that. I hit Hall of Fame multiple times. Back then, I think I missed Hall of Fame by like $9,000 one year. If you've ever, do you know what it's like to make $389,000? $391,000 and can't walk across the stage? Well, when I tell you I was hot, I was so mad. I mean, I was mad, but like I was paid. So I wasn't really that mad. Wasn't really that mad. So anyway, from there, COVID happened. Eventually went through a nasty divorce, single mom. And then eventually COVID happened and everybody shifted. And the life insurance industry was the only industry that kept getting profitable during the COVID time, right? And so at this time, I had gotten flown out to California for this thing called Boss Babe. If you've ever heard of hashtag Boss Babe, I was a guest speaker for Natalie Ellis. She created the Instagram hashtag Boss Babe. This was when hashtags were first becoming a thing. And Boss Babe was the first hashtag to hit 2 million followers. And I got flown out as an entrepreneur on stage as a speaker for her. And all of these girls were doing like makeup and fitness and whatever. Like I was like the only like business, like real business. They're all real businesses, but actually like finance business. And when I came home, COVID shut down. And I say that because I was there to build an academy, a 12-week coaching platform that I built. It's called the Six Figure Academy. And the minute I launched it, COVID happened. And everybody switched to telesales, which means my entire coaching platform that I built, which was all belly-to-belly sales pretty much, nobody cared about it anymore because they all had to pivot. So I stopped what I was doing and I just shifted into telesales just like that. I also shifted into health insurance at this time. So I've actually been doing health insurance and life insurance in tandem since 2020 when COVID broke out, because we couldn't see people. So I added that into the program, and now the program is evergreen where we're updating it all of the time. But KG, there has never been a stopping point where I let my foot off the gas. I just kept morphing and going with things as they came, right? I never had shiny object syndrome. Not once did it occur to me, or I never had to go get another job. I never had to get remarried by force and use someone else's income. I didn't have to move back in with my parents. Matter of fact, I thrived. I flourished. And I just decided that what I was doing was it. And now I'm coming up on year 11. And now I'm just pretty much on cruise control. If I choose to work, I work less hours and make more money. So yeah, let's do some Q&A and like talk about how this works. I'd love to share.
Absolutely. So first of all, Leslie, I do have a question for you. You've gone through some major life-changing experiences in your life. And if most people would have gone through what you've gone through, they wouldn't be in business anymore. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not having sympathy for those who have gone through things in their business, because I think everybody has their own journey. But what I do think people want to know, and maybe you can touch on it a little bit. I don't know if you want to dive too deep, but what I do know is that we deal with life insurance, right? Someone's always being born and someone's always passing away. And one of the hardest things is to keep going when you lose your best people in life. I've gone through it. I know you've gone through it. How did you get past that to keep going, to keep moving, even when the people that you love the most are no longer here and the people that you love the most have broken you or tried to break you?
This is an excellent question. Yeah, this is an
Yes.
excellent question. Because in the heat of it all, I was broken for sure. Throughout the course of my career, I've built multiple downlines, and I have had multiple downlines leave and go to other companies. So if that's happened to you, I have lived through it. And the first and second time that happened, I was heartbroken, literally heartbroken, just by pouring blood, sweat, and tears into another soul and having them decide and having them have shiny object syndrome and go and leave me. I took it personally for the first couple of times that it happened, because my personal development wasn't up. I didn't know how to call it a neutral event, right? I didn't know that there was just an unlimited abundance amount of people in the world that I could just go pick from. I didn't know that those people were exiting for a reason. I didn't know that I was being protected. Do you see? And so there's been some losses. There's been massive losses in my career, but I never got out of the business. One of the most biggest losses of my career to date was that this day, 1 year ago, my husband died. Today was actually the day that he died. And KG, I remember telling you about it. You and I pretty much, I came into Kendall's office and I was like, yo, give me these contracts. I'll be back when I'm ready. My husband died. And Kendall doesn't know me from Adam, but Mike and Frank know me for 10 years. So Mike was like, I'll see you when you get back. I get back, I'm 2 point something million Hall of Fame in 6 months. Let's go. But it took me out. I hospiced my grandfather for 2 years, and he passed in January, and then Sean died in April, right? So there's been some catastrophic losses. I'll never forget when I, about 3 years into FFL, the first time, one of my good friends in this business, Patty Lampasso, passed away. That's Linda's sister. And, being there on stage with Patty 1 year and then not having her the next year. And you guys just, some of these, look, go ahead. Everybody go look right now on the participants. There's 111 angel number. There's 111 participants right now on this call right now. Some of them are not going to be on the call this time next year. Some of them are not going to be on it. And so I don't know if you want to call it successfully or not, but I have been able to work through pain and finding my purpose through the pain of life's ebbs and flows and still stayed in this business. Why? How? How is it possible? Because when you serve a client or you serve an agent at this level, there's nothing that can pull me out of this business besides retirement. But even then, I would probably still start I'd probably start another company. But there's nothing that can pull you out of something that you have a passion for. So if you watch your client's face light up when they know they're getting declined and you get them an instant approval and you watch what happens within them and that vision comes to life, that's magical and that's spiritual. The next level of that is watching them pass away personally because you knew them and you were invited to the house before they passed. You were invited to the house when they got the diagnosis. You were the person that the beneficiary called to meet at the funeral home. You were the person that hand delivered the check to the client should you choose to. That's spiritual service. That's a divine interruption that God has gifted you with the ability to be able to do this. That's just two ways. The other way is when you watch an agent struggle to get their license. And I've had this happen multiple times. Like attracts like. I come from a very decorated background, born again and redeemed. Okay. And I'm licensed in the very lovely Commonwealth of Virginia. It is very difficult to get started out here with any type of history. When you watch somebody who you love go through every loop and hoop and get a license, then you watch them go through carrier contracting. And I've had it happen multiple times in 10 years. I have put 1,000 people in this business at least. When you watch them get their first deposit, when you watch them get their second deposit, when you watch them put their kid in private school, okay? When you watch them plan a wedding, meet a spouse, buy their mom a brand new car, when you watch them hire their first agent and you're literally watching yourself train a new person outside of yourself, it's a little mini you that you created. When you have that happen, that's it. It's ball game. Imagine duplicating yourself over and over and over again and watching the ripple effects from your vision, the vision that you had pour into somebody else where it ignited their vision that they didn't know they had. They had no idea. Like literally, raise your hand. I want to see the hands in the chat. I promise there's going to be 0. Raise your hand if you went to school on career day and said, I'm going to be a life insurance agent when I grow up. Nobody. Nobody. Literally, this is an invitation only business. Yes, they make ads for it. All the ones that have the low compensation and they charge their clients out the ass. You're going to see ads for that. But you're not going to see ads to come into a culturally designed business like this. Why? Because we really are the mom and pop shop that got huge. We are the brothers and the sisters, the aunties, the uncles, the moms and the dads. I mean, shoot, I look up to Kendall as a friend, a business partner, a father, a brother. Frank, there is nothing like that. You don't get that working at State Farm. You don't get that working for a company. But when you're talking about starting out at a company that was built in the dirt, There's really something special about the culture designed around this company. And because everyone in leadership, I will speak for everyone in leadership here, because we believe so much in this business and in the vision of FFL, you've got free training every single day. Every single day. We do not get a paycheck to get on here and teach you guys the secrets and the nuggets and the things and the new technology. We don't get a paycheck for that. It's literally just a passion driven by purpose that started with somebody's vision to do it better for the agent. Questions?
Oh, I love it. Guys, throw your questions in the chat if you have any questions for Leslie. Leslie, for the newest agent on the call, while people are throwing their questions in there, how did you get good at, because I heard you say from the very beginning, I mean, shoot, you probably fudged it all up in the beginning, right? You said, shoot, I didn't even know I should have called the number. I just showed up to the house. So what does that tell you, team? Even if you're brand new, even you can fudge up, you can earn while you learn here.
I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. I have gotten stuck in the mud. I've gotten stuck in the mud and out in the sticks, and waited and had to wait for the client to come home. You don't think I got a sale, do you? While the tow truck was coming, I'm like, oh, by the way, here's why I was knocking. Here's why I got stuck in your mud. I have been in ugly situations with bugs and cats. I've gotten so many parking tickets. I have gotten my car towed at least 25 times because it got to a point where I just had so much money. I took a gamble to see if I could beat the tow truck driver there. That's how much money I was making at the time. I didn't even care. But yeah, I remember knocking on this one door and the lady came to the door. This was at the practice company. And she was like, honey, that says I'm 67 and I am 72. I said, well, shit, you still didn't buy the insurance. She said, get in here, come in here. She was so sweet. I sold her the insurance. But they had recycled that damn lead and I paid full price and I was pissed. And then I hired a guy and he had the same lead as me, the exact same lead. Like you could tell it was a copy of it. Sorry, my phone alarm went off. But do you hear me? I was so upset. I don't want to hear not one complaint about the price of a lead. You cannot complain. If you're on our team, you cannot come to me and tell me you paid $592.73 for a lead. I do not care. I do not care. Because I have bought the same lead 29 times. I do not care. And sold it and made my money back. So don't even come complaining about the price of a lead. I will not accept.
I love it. Thank God we don't have to go in the field anymore, right?
Oh, I still go in the field. I love it in the field. I love it in the field because it reminds me where I came from and it reminds me that I still got it.
There's so many ways to do this business and become successful. But what I mean by that is just all the crap we went through before, you know what I mean? Yeah. But thank goodness that people who are running a 100% telesales, like you don't have to worry about that stuff. All you got to do is pick up the phone. So it's great to kind of talk about that because we really went through it. And I didn't even know you ran your business pregnant. I did too.
Big pregnant. I made so much money. Shoot.
Oh yes. And you're right. They feed you too when you're pregnant.
They feed you. And you know what else? This business is fun. Like if you guys are not having fun talking to your clients on the phone, that's what happens in our office. You cannot get me and KG and Crystal in a room together because we have to split up. Because KG, I'll give you an example. I had a lead last week. For the life of me, my itty bitty committee in my head started taking over and I was like, I cannot call this man. I cannot pronounce his name. And KG was hollering across the room, what is it? Give it to me. I can say it. I'm like, oh my God, no, you're not. You're going to mess it up. So I give her the lead, right? This fool, she called the man on FaceTime and he answered. Hagabad. What was his name? Hababad? Hagabad. Couldn't say it. He answers on FaceTime. I'm in the back dying. I'm recording it. And she gets him on FaceTime like, Hagabad, I had to call you on FaceTime because I didn't want to mess your name up, but you had filled out some information on Facebook about your life insurance and you put that you like to read. He was like, yeah, that was me. Shoot. I was dying. I was dying. So and I go through this all the time. So just get over it and call them anyway. I mean, honestly, I could tell you some crazy stories, but we have so much fun. The best things that have ever happened to me in telesales has been video calling the clients. Video calling the clients, getting cussed out. I love being cussed out by a client when all of our team is in the office together because everybody can hear what's happening and it's hilarious. I'll put it on speaker and I'll say, ma'am, you don't need to cuss at me. Well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say, if you cuss at me, I'm going to cuss back at you. And we just go back and forth with them and treat them like real human beings. They're not getting treated like that from the robo dials and the people overseas. They're just not. And I've had a lot of those clients that actually convert to sales because they're like, you know what? Let me stop. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Why are you trying to make my day hard? Telesales is so much fun. So much fun.
It definitely is. And that's the beauty about being in an office and being around like-minded individuals. Why is it important, Leslie, to get to an office and jump on live dials and unmute and just get in the fire? Why is that important?
Because you have so much support. It's almost like a roadblock. You got to get into committed action. And if you have a hard time being in committed action, being around people, they're saying, come on, just dial, just dial. I was like that. I will never forget dialing the number. The first time I ever made a dial when I realized that they had a script and there was a phone number on the lead, I will never forget. I watched my upline do it like 5 times. Then I started writing down everything she said. We didn't have what are those notebooks called? We didn't have them. I had a notebook and I wrote down the script like 5 times and she was like, all right, it's your turn. I'm like, what do you mean? So just dial it, put it on speaker. It was like a flip at the time, not a flip phone. It wasn't that bad, but it was like the twisty one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I dialed it and I just read the script and I booked the appointment to go out to his house because I was just learning how to book appointments and go out to his house. This is before COVID. But the nerves from actually talking to someone. Then I realized they can't see me. I can't see them. Then I realized that they hung up on me. It wouldn't even matter. I was just going to call them back because I was a gangster. And I was like, okay, hold on. Mary, you hung up on me and you filled out this form I'm holding in my hand. Now I'm going to bring it to your house. Then I started getting self-esteem, right? So now I would literally, there is nothing, I will go toe to toe on any phone call. It does not matter. We can be confrontational. The first thing I do is match the energy of the person picking up the phone. I match the voice inflection of the person on the other line. Those are the 2 tools that you must have on every dial, no matter what. However they answer, that's how you respond. Figure out real quickly if you could bring them down or if they need to be brought up. You can tell right away in the first 30 seconds what kind of mood they're in. And your job is to basically style flex, right, into whatever they need you to be to get them to open up on the call. That's how you do telesales.
Absolutely. And I know we got you for a little bit more time here, but guys, throw a 1 in the chat if you're going through something right now, you're in something or coming out of something. Throw a 1 in the chat. Right? Everybody. Listen,
the queen of
life
adversity
is going to life. Leslie, let me ask you, because no one's posting questions, so I got some.
Okay, let's do it.
Isn't it crazy how you have to try to think and remember all the crap you went through and probably stuff you don't even remember, but was it worth it?
I can remember a lot of it because I was like, damn, am I really standing in this house with all these bugs and smells like piss and this lady? And I'll never forget somebody telling me they're completely healthy and I go to meet them and they're on oxygen missing a leg. My God. I remember a lot. You have to find the funny. My mom told me a long time ago, find the funny. And for the new agent, your number 1 goal is to run through 100 sales calls as quickly as possible. You need to get you a little chart with 100 blocks on it and dial, and do 100 presentations. The quicker you could get through 100 presentations, you'll look back at this moment and it will never be a thing. It will never be a thing. You just got to commit and do it and trust that the right people are around you on Zoom, whisper coaching you next to you. We are not going to let you fail. I just told you the biggest blessing is when we see you win. So our number 1 goal is to get you to ring that bell. That's it.
Absolutely.
Run through your first 100 appointments, 100 presentations, not sales. Presentations. You should keep 100 tick marks somewhere and start scratch. And I want to see them. I want you to call me and show them to me. How many are you doing a day? I can tell you if you have enough leads or not. All of it.
Awesome.
And we're spoiled rotten, KG. Let me just say this too. All we had was final expense. Hello? Now we have, Mike's done created a trucker lead, a veteran lead. Next thing you know, it'll be a tree climber lead, a plumbing lead.
I'm here for it because they all work.
Shit. Yeah. When's the last time you pumped somebody's house? You got stuck underneath. You got hurt? Septic tank clean out lead. Whatever it is, I'm with it. We already got the strip for it.
I got you. I love it. So tell me real quick. Last question. Motillis
Uber driver
wants to know.
You drive Uber, you drive for Amazon. I got you.
Can you talk about the 6-month run that you did, 2.4 million, the schedule, the energy, the thought? You're really good at manifesting. You're really good about buy when. What are we going to do this? Buy when. You're really good at saying what you're going to do and backing it with action and getting it done. Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. If you guys can make it to a closeout week, y'all, you got to get to a closeout week. We're having one the very last weekend of April at our office, 780 Lynnhaven Parkway in Virginia Beach on the 4th floor, 450. Come in the last week of April and the last week of May, because what we do is we make strong declarations every single Monday. We make a declaration on what we're going to do individually and as a team. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing 5 apps today. I'm going to pick up $5,000 in AP today. I'm going to do 10,000 this week. I'm going to pick up X amount of applications. This is what my week's going to look like. And that's what we do for closeout week. And then we just get to work and we pound the phones. But to do the 6-month run, so Sean died and I lost it. And when I came to, it was very fuzzy. I did a retirement seminar today. A year ago, I did a retirement seminar. I got the phone call after that seminar was done that he had passed. So I'm in the seminar and I'm leaving and I got the phone call that he passed. Well, that he was missing. Sorry. 1 week from today is when we found him. So I was in a seminar. In the seminar that I hosted, I do these all the time. It was about $16-17 million in assets just in that room. And I have a specific demographic that I was looking at helping. Okay. So he passed. I didn't work any of those leads. My staff called them and booked them. And I'll be honest, most of the appointments, if they were little teeny sales, I gave them to my agents and supported my team. So at least I was earning overrides on them. If they were big sales, they were on my schedule and I worked them and I closed them. And I do not remember how I did that. I was blacked out for sure, but I know I made some sales. But eventually around July, I started coming to, and I got it back in my book of those people that had been there. And I just reintroduced myself with one of my staff. We started texting them using Go High Level. We started phone calling them using Go High Level, getting them on automations. And I started booking one-on-ones with them to look at their retirement portfolios and their assets and their health insurance. And so that is what I did. And out of there, I just decided I was going to use my story with Sean to tell them what happened. And he had life insurance through 3 companies. One paid out through his job, double, because it was an accident. 2 of them were declined. And I fought tooth and nail, which you know the names of these companies. Y'all, some of y'all write the shit. But I'm not going to say nothing about that. But one of them I fought tooth and nail with and opened up a case with the SEC and finally got the money paid just a week, like literally on Thursday. It's been a year. And that didn't go to me. It went to the children. So I got no life insurance on this man. It all went into the estate account for the kids, which is totally cool. My point is this. It was all term insurance. 2 policies paid. 1 I had to arm wrestle for, and I'm in the business. It did not matter. So I just decided to use that story to tell my clients, and I moved all their money. That's what happened. I was like, what's your vision with the money? What happens if your term life insurance don't pay out? Because here's my 3. I took the policies. Here's the 3 policies. This one paid. These 2 didn't. But it says he died of an accident. They didn't pay it? No. Are you hearing me? No. The policies are 5 and 6 years old. And I know a million of y'all have questions. Hear me out. I know what I'm doing. They didn't pay. And I used that as the story, and I just moved their money. And it wasn't me. It was God, because I needed it. And after the flow, the momentum started building. I looked at Kendall. I said, I'm hitting Hall of Fame. Like, I'll do it. I'm on track. I'm going to do it. Kendall was like, oh, no. 6 months, no one's done it. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. Remember, we had no relationship. This was my first interaction with Kendall. And I had something to prove. I was coming on his calls. I was treating the team like a team, playing team all the time, training people in his organization, getting to know me now. I'm plugging my agents into him. It was just so cohesive. But I had something to prove. I wanted him to know that I know what I'm talking about. And that is what I did. And I stayed in front of everybody. If they had a husband and a wife, I saw them together. I got the parents. Anybody that had assets, they were hearing from me. They were hearing from me.
Awesome. So Leslie, we appreciate you. Guys, stories sell. So if you don't have one, use Leslie's story, right? And if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So really take in what she said today. And for the newest agent, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to perform. You heard it from the best of the best today, team. When you serve people, you serve God. She's been through everything and she's still here. What does that mean for you? That means whatever you're going through right now, you have to change how you view your situation. And the only way you're going to come out of it is if you keep going. You serve the masses, you'll eat with the classes. So I say this to
say. And the one last thing.
Yes.
Don't lone wolf. That's your biggest enemy. Use your team. It's a team win-win. Don't lone wolf. Don't get out the business. Expose yourself and stay vulnerable, and you will have success.
And don't do it by yourself. So, like I said, y'all heard it from the best of the best. I'm so glad she gave us all this info today. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So the best way you can thank the team, thank yourself, and thank your family is by going to work and performing for them, perform for you. Leslie, we love you. Thank you. And I'll leave y'all with this. Before you're great, you got to be good. And before you're good, you got to be bad. And before you're bad, you got to tear some shit up. I love y'all. Go fudge it up. Okay? And let's take it to the top because the bottom too crowded. I love you guys. Have a great night. Let's win.